Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Nick DiMartino. I'm back, host of Out of Line. Obviously, big news today in the world of sports. In Kyrie Irving, the trade is finally official. It finally went through. He was traded to the Dallas Mavericks. There's a lot to get into. It looked like for a while they were going to include the Raptors in this and make it a 3-team trade. But no, it went straight up with the Mavericks. But obviously, the Nets. It seems like they're going to be doing something with the Raptors, separate from this trade. It seems like. I mean, we all kind of saw this coming. Kyrie Irving, he requested a trade. He wanted to go to the Lakers. Joe Tsai refused to send him to the Lakers. If anything, I thought maybe Kyrie should have pulled like reverse psychology and said, I want to go to the Mavericks. So then Tsai would send him to the Lakers. I thought that was kind of funny, though, that he just refused to send him to his preferred destination. Although I'm not really feeling bad for him because he's still playing with Luka Doncic. And obviously, this is a great move for the Mavericks because they're barely over 500. They're sixth in the West. This almost guarantees them a playoff spot, barring some type of injury. So obviously it's a great move for the Mavericks. It's not that great of a move for the Nets. The Nets right now don't have that much leverage at this point. So like I said, I mean, basically the Nets traded Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris for Spencer Dinwiddie, former Net, was just on the Nets 2 years ago. Dorian Finney-Smith, a 2027 second-round pick, a 2029 unprotected first-round pick, and a 2029 second-round pick. So basically both of the Raptors' draft picks in 2029. So basically, realistically, the Nets obviously lose this trade at this point. I mean, Kyrie Irving is an all-star. He's obviously too good of a player for only to be getting Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and 3 draft picks. Unless obviously you're going to be using some of those, which it seems like the Nets are looking to be using those assets in a trade for something better. It seems like according to sources, and by sources I mean what I read on the internet, it seems like the Nets are interested in Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam. It doesn't seem very likely to me that the Raptors would be willing to give up Pascal Siakam. The Nets don't have a lot of leverage. I mean, to me, there's almost no way they get both of them. There's almost no way, and Pascal Siakam is the Raptors' best player right now. And it doesn't seem likely they'll be able to get – there's basically no way they'll be able to get both because, I mean, obviously now they have Dorian Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie, and apparently it looks like they're going to try to trade Dinwiddie to the Raptors for Siakam or Fred VanVleet, but they would have to trade a lot more than just Dinwiddie. They would have to trade. They would also have to trade draft picks. They're not going to be able to trade Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons' contract is too big. Nobody wants him. He's paid about on average $35 million a year. They don't want to be locked into that, especially a team like the Raptors, because it's one thing if you have a team with a bunch of superstars. It might make sense to have Ben Simmons on the team, but the Raptors are below 500. They're currently 11th in the East. There's basically no way Ben Simmons would be of any value to them at all. So to me, it seems like the best the Nets could do right now would be to get Fred VanVleet, and they would have to trade a bunch of draft picks. 2027, possibly the one of the draft picks that they just received from the Mavericks. So other than that, it doesn't seem like, other than draft picks, which I don't know how much the Raptors value, they're not really a great team this year, the Raptors, but they're right on the cusp of making the play-in tournament. So it's not like they're tanking and are really just looking for the future. I think that, their mindset might not really be on, draft picks at this point. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens with all this. And obviously Markieff Morris, that part was easy. He's really not that good of a player, but Um, yeah, so I guess we'll see what happens. But if you're a Net fan, this is just terrible because even though Kyrie Irving was a headache, um, this whole Harden, Durant, Irving super team was the biggest super team fail of a generation in sports. I mean, think about this. If you're a Net fan, the best part of the Harden, Durant, Irving era was the acquisition of those players. That's how much of a fail that era was. So, this was a team that was good enough, should have been able to win multiple championships at least. It's not like they were old. It's not like they were old and like Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce were, and anybody could have figured out they weren't that good anymore. These are players in their prime. In terms of basketball, it works. It was just that they had big egos, and they didn't want to stick around, and they were making demands, and injuries too, obviously. But I mean, they didn't want to go through the most, especially Harden, they didn't want to go through the most mild adversity, which obviously just ruined the whole thing. So if you're a Net fan, I guess you can say good riddance to this era, but it's a huge disappointment as a fan. I mean, I'm not a Net fan. I don't care about them, but but if you are a Net fan, that's how you would feel. But in terms of the Mavericks, I mean, this gives them an amazing backcourt. I mean, right now they're barely over 500. They're right on the cusp of being of having to play in the play-in tournament. So this is a great move for them. I mean, Doncic and Irving in your backcourt is going to be pretty great to watch. So, we'll see how it goes. But if you're a Net fan, good luck to you. But I just don't think this is going to go very well. All right, see you, everybody.